Good morning. After a bit of a last minute technical hitch, we've swapped round. So I was going to go onto Christelle's account this morning, but she's on mine. So in a minute, I will let me invite her, otherwise she won't know I'm here. I'm having a chat with Keep Calm Nutrition, Christelle. Let me just find her on here. There. Sending request. So you've met Christelle before. She's amazing. And she helps tired mums regain their energy, ditch sugar and lose weight. And today we're talking about something which is kind of close to my heart. Morning!
Hello, hi.
Kind of close to my heart. My nephew went off to uni this week, and that's his first time at uni, and his big sister went off earlier in the week. So I live next door to them, so that's why it's kind of close to my heart, this topic. And I've had lots of mums get in touch with me and comment on my stories about how they're feeling this week and last week with their children going off to uni, whether they're returning or whether it's their, literally the first time they've left home. And it's an emotional roller coaster. Anxiety, feelings of depression, exhaustion, just not knowing what to do with themselves, blindsided. Some people say it's feel like they're grieving. It's a really big thing, isn't it, Christelle? How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. Thanks for hosting this IG Live, because it's like I'm a bit rubbish with technology. So I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, it's a big subject, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. So I just thought it'd be nice for us to chat. I'm going to focus on it this week on my page, but I thought it'd just be nice for us to chat about things from a nutritional standpoint, maybe how mums can look after themselves a bit more, help them boost their energy, help them feel a little bit calmer, start to nourish themselves. And I can interject with how they can also do that from an energetic and emotional side as well, because I feel it's really is a time for you mums out there that are going through this to try and now change the focus back onto you and what you want and what you need. And I know that's going to be really hard, because your mind is full of everything that's happened, getting your child to this point, worrying about how they're getting on, how they're settling in. But it's how we prioritise ourselves, isn't it? And what shall we start with? We didn't really prepare any questions as such, did we? So when you think about, a gorgeous mum that's done all of this hard work, got her child off to uni, and is probably feeling a bit bereft and empty and depleted, what are your first thoughts in terms of nutrition that they can possibly look at?
Yeah, so it's a big subject, because obviously those moms have been just looking after their child for 20 years, just making sure that probably just the child it's much better than they did actually at the time. And then it's just it's time now for them just to make themselves a priority. So there's the mindset thing that we can just talk on later, but I know that you want us to talk about the food. So it's all about boosting this mood, because they might just feel low, they might feel a bit grieving, like you said. And there's some foods that can really work on your mood. So there's foods that are not going to help, and there's foods that are going to help, like anything. And they may be actually tempted to go to the cakes because, you don't feel well, or it's let's have a bit of sugar. But that is going just really to drain their energy, that's going to drain their mood, and in the long run, that's not going to make them any favor. I'm not saying never have cake, never have those sugary things, but it's not what their body needs at the moment. And there's also other things that they don't really need. So the processed food, because when you're just feeding a family, you tend just to cook a family meal. When you by yourself, just either you don't eat properly, or you just go to convenience food or junk food. So it's just something quick and easy, or just a piece of toast, which for lunch with something on top, like fish finger sandwich or something like that. So it's not the most nourishing food. So there's a place for it, maybe, but just think about the good things that you can add in your diet. So start with just having enough good quality protein. So that's your lean meat, your poultry, your fish, your eggs, you have the nuts and seeds to some extent. If you're vegetarian, the tofu and the beans. They are really just great source of protein. So just go back to basic, just eat as natural as you can. And in some ways, you know, if you don't want to cook, you don't have to cook. You can just go to supermarkets and buy like a fillet of fish already cooked, or even like some tin sardines. You know, even tin sardines on a piece of brown toast with a salad on the side would actually be more nourishing than this, you know, fish finger sandwich. So it's just about how can you just like flip what you're eating on its head and just make it even more nourishing. So start with a good quality protein for that, because you need it for the neurotransmitters. So that's the chemicals of the brain. So just for the mood, that's just enough protein. Then whole foods. So we talked about lots of fruits and vegetables. So just lots of fiber as well. Because I think that by this stage, you know, by the time that kids are going to uni, you're probably in perimenopause or menopause. So you really need just to support your hormones. So protein is again going just to help with the hormones. The fiber is going to help with your hormones as well, just in terms of detoxification, so going to the toilet and being regular. And also just focus on your green leafy vegetables. So again, for the menopause stage, but also just as a general source of zinc, magnesium, and B vitamins. So that's your rocket, your broccoli, your cabbage, your watercress. So all those good things. And we can't just talk about good mood and brain health without talking about omega-3 fats, so the good fats. So again, that's your oily fish, so the salmon, the mackerel, sardines, eggs to some extent, not the best source, but to some extent, you can just have that in there. And vitamin D. So vitamin D is a big one as we just entered just like the autumn. So it's difficult to get enough sun on our skin now to just make the vitamin D. So you might just want to top up. Unfortunately, food is not a great source of vitamin D. So you have a bit in the fish, you have a bit in the eggs, cod liver oil, and also liver. But it just, you just might need to supplement in there. So vitamin D is what I see actually is when people are depressed or just like on the anxiety border, usually they are quite low in vitamin D. So I think that's one just to top up on there actually. And that's what the NHS recommends anyway, just between October and March, just top up your vitamin D.
That is, sorry about the background noise. My dog's
all right.
He's bashing into my desk and nearly knocked my phone while you're talking. I'm just looking at it going, just stop doing that. You appreciate what I'm talking about with dogs, don't you? Because you've just got a puppy.
Yeah. So it's like I've left my husband in charge actually.
Chaos.
Yeah.
I made notes there, so that was really great. And you touched on the mindset to start with, which is really important, and we can talk about that in a minute. And I did make you dive straight into the nutrition side of it. But I loved what you said about the food. I didn't really think about that. The way you eat might change because there's less of you to feed. The dynamics changed in the house. To be mindful that you don't start just going for the easy, less nutritional option. But you can still have fun with food like that. But make it, really optimize the nutrition you are having. And of course, the mums we're talking about are going to be perimenopausal, menopausal. So keep being aware of how hard your body is already working to keep itself in balance. It's going through a big change gradually. The fiber and the veg and the supplements. I mean, I know that you get varying thoughts on supplements. I really do go down the supplement route. I do take certain supplements every day, and for me, I know they make a really great difference. So I value what you say about them as well, especially things like vitamin D. So with the mindset, there's always going to be mindset when it comes to how we look after ourselves and prioritize ourselves. Because if there wasn't something to do with mindset, we'd be doing it without thinking about it. And we've spent so many years bringing up the children and being at the bottom of the list of priorities that it can be quite an adjustment to then realize that things can now change because your child or your children have now embarked on that big wide world. So how do we start to adjust to the changes and realize that that it is okay for us now to prioritize ourselves. I think that's going to be quite alien to a lot of people, a lot of mums, because they've not done it for, like you say, anything up to 20 years. When you see your clients, what do you think is one of the main blocks to them putting themselves first? I'll see what you kind of come across, and I'll see what ideas I've got. Or I can go first if that puts you a bit on the spot.
Okay, I think that there's a big thing around they don't feel that it's deserve putting themselves first. So just think around change is just that they don't feel that they have the choice to change. That choice is actually, so the change is actually a choice.
Yeah.
But I think that the feeling that just like, you know, I don't deserve it is a big thing. So it's just like, I have just to put my kids first and I don't deserve it, or it's selfish. That's what I hear a lot around the, you know, just like I would put self-care mindset as a big bubble, because lots of people think that self-care is actually bubble bath, but it's not. It's all just like going to the salon or whatever. It's not. And yeah, that's a big thing around self-care being selfish. So just thinking like, well, actually, I can't take some time just to myself to do something fun and something that I enjoy because it's selfish. And and the guilt around, I should do the household chores instead, something a bit more valuable. Well, in their view, probably a bit more valuable. But what I say, just like doing the household chores is never self-care. So that may just make you happy just to tidy up the kitchen and then you will feel better, but it's not self-care. So it's just like prioritizing this, you know, 5-10 minutes a day and doing something, just so taking time out for yourself every day, even if it's 5 minutes, you know, just like taking a 5 minutes break every hour. I can see lots of women that actually just go from 8:30 or whatever, just like, or the moment they get up until the moment they go, you know, they just go at night and then say, like, what did you do today for yourself? Just didn't have time, just don't have time. So just try to do something as well different every day. So, and something that you enjoy. I think it's the main thing. Just do something that you enjoy, even if it's 5 minutes. It cannot be like have a cup of coffee in the garden, just like really easy. And just like that's self-care. So it's just like, it's just time for yourself, just protect yourself. And yeah, there's a big thing around the guilt, isn't there?
There is. And the ones you said are the ones I was thinking of. Firstly, yeah, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to look after myself. I don't deserve to put myself first. And although that might sound a bit surprising to people, if you really think about it, that's why you're not doing it. It's because you don't think you deserve it. And that for so many years you feel that other people have deserved it before you. Now is the time for you to start to change that mindset. Also, it can be a distraction, like you said, about getting up from, you know, they get going from 7 or 8:30 in the morning and they go all day until bed. It's the way I see that is they're distracting themselves from looking after themselves. So it's almost like they just can't think about it. So they'll keep themselves as busy as possible and then use that excuse, I'm just too busy. And yet everybody in the world has the same 24 hours, but people do make time for it. So it's going back to that. Don't distract yourself by keeping yourself busy with things that are not caring for you. Like you said, tidying the house, doing the cooking, getting the groceries, doing whatever it might be is not self-care, even if you think, once I've done that, I'm going to feel better, because also it's never going to finish. There'll always be something else that needs doing. There'll always be some ironing to do, or checking your emails or something where you are just putting yourself at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And it does come back to that guilty feeling that putting ourselves first is somehow selfish. And I think we're told that for many years, so it becomes programmed. Also, what I see come up quite a lot when it comes to mindset for looking after yourself more is that women just don't know what it is they enjoy doing anymore as well. And that can be a little bit unnerving and upsetting. So I'll often ask clients, okay, so what fun do you have? Where is your fun coming from? And it's always an awkward question, because 9 times out of 10, they'll say, oh, I don't really have any, or I don't know where the happiness is. And that's kind of uncomfortable, isn't it? So if you keep yourself busy all day, put yourself last, you're really avoiding the fact that there are things you love doing. There are things that can make you happy and find joy. You've just forgotten what they are because you've been so busy thinking about other people. So this is a time for exploring what those are again, revisiting things you loved in the past. Even if you don't enjoy them now, if you try them again, it will help you open your mind to new ideas, new opportunities. It could be that one of the things has been that you've not looked after yourself nutritionally, and now is an opportunity for you to start trying new recipes, different types of foods, a different type of a way of eating, whether that's more vegetables, different types of meats and fish, more nuts and seeds, eating the rainbow. It could be anything, couldn't it? People may actually find it fun to start focusing on how they can support themselves nutritionally, rather than just seeing it as 3 meals a day, and there's not much enjoyment from that.
Yeah, no, completely. Yeah, and it's like I always encourage my clients just to make a list of just those kind of like list 10 things that they really enjoy doing, and actually they really struggle with that. And when it comes to nutrition, you don't have to change everything in one go. And if you don't want to cook, I always say you don't have to cook. It's just like there's some options that are ready in supermarkets, so it's just making it easy for yourself, but just like trying to change, and you said like explore different recipes if you like cooking. If you don't like cooking, just like flipping the ideas on the head, and also thinking about what will they change, because that's a big thing. So they need to be satisfied with what they're going to change in their life. So just make a decision, just one little thing. Okay, today or this week, I'm just changing one little thing, and be really happy with that. And if they don't want to change, it's absolutely okay. It's fine, but they need to accept in some ways that, if they are feeling down or something, it's not going to get them out of this cycle, I think. So just as we said at the start, just change is a choice. So it's really about just like, what will I change this week just to make me feel a bit, happier now my child has gone, or just like, just what can I do just to look after myself?
Yeah. And I had a little thought just then. Sometimes I'll have a conversation with clients where I say, how do you want to feel in 5 years? What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? How do you want your health to be? Because it can be, I think many mums, and I was one of those, you plod through life, but you're kind of blinkered, and you're looking at the next few months maybe, but you're not really thinking much beyond that. So when it comes to this sort of stage in life where it's a massive change, your child or your children have all gone to university, you are suddenly aware of the next stage in your life, and that can be quite daunting. But now is an opportunity for you to think, well, what do I want 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line? And then when you know what that is, and you can do that in all sorts of ways. You can meditate on it, you can do some little bit of nice breathing exercises, and just have a daydream, and do some, like, write a future diary entry to yourself how you want your life to look. Then you can put your head in that space and start to break down what those small steps are going to be to get you there. Because that whatever you might want in the next few years might be quite a change from where you are now, but you can definitely get there. But it's like you were saying, find one thing you can do, break it down, and then think about what is the first step I can take. And it might be, I'm going to start with taking 10 minutes to myself a day. It might be, do you know what, I know I'm drinking too much coffee, but it's got me through the last few years. I'm going to start to just have one less coffee a day. Anything that starts to get you to where you want to be in that 2, 3, 4, 5 year time is going to start to make you feel empowered, have more control over your own destiny. But it doesn't need to be big stuff. The small stuff is the best stuff, if you ask me.
Yeah, and everyone are just, people that have a health goal just tend to just like see it short term, like a bit of a sprint. And I always say, just like, your health is a marathon, and you're always on the health journey. Always. I am as well. It's just like, it's not a destination in itself. It's just not like, oh, well, there's very few people that will just say like, now I'm perfectly, healthy, and just like, unless you're like, I don't know, an Olympian athlete or something like that. But there's always something to work on, I think. And it's just like, don't see it as just like an endpoint. It's just like, there's always just things that you can just like improve and just work on. So, and it's not by making quick, I don't know how to say it, but just like quick changes, just saying like, okay, I'm going to go on this crazy plan, crazy diet or whatever. And in 3 months I will be sorted. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. If you want results that last, if you want to be happy in your life and have a bit of everything, because I believe that, restriction is not the way for health. You just need to have balance. And, I mentioned the cake before. I'm quite big on blood sugar management and so on. And obviously cake I'm not going to have, but there's a place for it. There's a place for it. And it's about knowing when and so on, but just, it's a long-term vision. So you talked about the 5-year vision. I think it's much more reasonable than saying like, okay, I'm going to go into this crash diet and in 3 months, because it's not going to work, is it? They might be happy after 3 months, but I can guarantee that after 3 months, they will be miserable again.
Yeah, it's not sustainable, is it? And that's how we get into that loop of misery with dieting. I mean, that's why the diet industry is so huge, because they're relying on people ultimately failing. They'll get that short-term gain, which makes you feel like that was worth doing. But then, another year down the line, it comes back and more, and you feel really down about the situation you're in, and you're starting all over again. So yeah, it's about sustainable changes, and it's about a lifestyle, adapting your lifestyle. So instead of seeing it as a short-term, I must do this for this amount of time, it's about making the changes that you're happy with and that you can embrace, that you will keep going for the rest of your life. Because it is about the journey, not the destination, which is a bit
exactly,
but it is, because we have to manage our health and our happiness right to the end. And yeah, like you said, we're always going to be learning. You're always going to be learning. I'm always going to be learning. And that's how you get to the point where you can start to live the life you want and have the experiences you dream of and feel good in your body and be able to deal with, perimenopause, menopause in a more confident way, because these things aren't just kind of suddenly getting dumped on you. You're already thinking ahead about how you want to feel, what you want to do for yourself, how you can prioritize yourself. And by doing that, you improve your mental health, your immune system, your overall health, your gut health, everything starts to fall much more in line, and you're working much more optimally.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like doesn't have to be a big change in, like we said, just like not in one go, just take it step by steps.
So for any mums out there that are watching, or dads for that matter, that are also finding change in their lives really difficult, because also we haven't talked about, the marriage side of it as well. It's going to be quite different. How can people reach out to you and get support from you if they just think, right, that's it, I've got to do something about my life, my health, what I'm doing with my body? How can they get support from you?
So I mainly work with clients on one-to-one basis for the consultation. So I combine nutritional programs that are completely personalized with mindset coaching or health coaching, and they can get through me either through my Instagram page. There's a link to my website, which is www.keepcalmnutrition.co.uk. And they can book a free health call in there, and we can discuss, what is their worry, what is their goals, and also if I'm the right person for them. Because I think that building a really strong working relationship is really, really important. So yeah, I think it's there's just have a friendly chat. So it's through video call, and just see how it's all going and see if they want to take it forward. It's like if they're ready and committed to changing, I'm here for them, and I will be just helping you with the accountability, motivation, support, and so on. So yeah, and I have also a cheat sheet of good mood foods for the people that are just watching on there. If they want a copy of that, they just need to send me a DM with their email address, and I'll send them by email. So it's just like recap, what foods can boost your mood as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And that's what people need right now. So that's fantastic. So that's Keep Calm Nutrition. I'll put all the details on the notes after I save this video and load it up to my grid. It's been so lovely seeing you again. And thank you for all of your advice. It's always just such sound advice that anyone can follow. Do get in touch with Christelle if you've got any concerns about the life changes you're going through and how it might be impacting your health. And we'll speak again soon.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.